Yes, sir, they killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for our legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dollars rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding because we all came from hunger.
Oh boy. Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. We ain't telling you no lies. We're going to keep it real with you. On screen, live action, TV, movies, streaming, whatever, it's all fair game. And if you're brand new to the channel, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're old to the channel, all right? Hit that like button, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Helps you play it out. You know you got to do all this stuff for the algorithm because they don't be holding the brother down like that in the algorithm. So feel free to share. But we talking about Master Chief, all right? We talking about the Covenant, all right? We talking about Phantoms, the UNSC. We talking about cryptographers, all right? We talking about battle rifles, sniper rifles, more bullets than you can count, all right? We talking about New Mombasa, all right? We talking about grunts, plasma rifles, all that. We are talking about Halo or Paramount Plus, and seeing where you at with it. Are you feeling it? Are you digging it? Are you here for the smoke, as they say? Let's go and drop some jams real quick on it. Yeah, let's drop a little something. So what we got? We got so shouts out to the music in the background. Let's see, we got SP the Soul Prophet up in the background. So that's what we're gonna rock with. Yeah, that's right. Hold on. Let me get a little. There we go. There. Yeah. So shouts to SP the Soul Prophet. You can check him out, of course, on IG with them dope beats. So Halo. I already said shout out to Shango Zulu in the chat. Anyone who's getting your alert on, or anyone who's, you know what I'm saying, watching on the replay. My question is, are you sticking around for episode 2? Right now, you know what I'm saying, it's 100% on the yes in the poll. Before I get into the review, I will say yes. I think I'm gonna stick around. I think we've gotten enough in this premiere to have me interested. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to stick around. There's some things that rub me the wrong way. And so, as I'm sure it did probably you too. But we'll start with good stuff. So I'm gonna shout out to Malcolm Lee in the chat. What up? Nice to see you come through. I'll throw it to Shango and Malcolm Lee. What were your favorite parts of the episode? Because I think I'll say my favorite part of the episode might be collectively the models. What up? Really? I don't think Johnny. Have I ever seen you in the chat before? Johnny Eric Matthews. I don't know if I've ever seen you in the chat before. Have I? Are you new? If you're new, let me know if you're new. You know what I'm saying? If you're new, welcome. If you're old but just been lurking, then also welcome. But maybe I see your name and it's not connected. But I think I stick around, and that my favorite part are the models. I think the Covenant look awesome, especially up close. They do. They look way better than I expected them to look. I was kind of worried, because video game to live action don't always really look, it don't really always work out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it comes off looking very strange or just kind of like the uncanny valley kind of thing. But the models on this, they look alien, they look creepy, their skin look nasty, they look like yeah. And that's a good thing for those models to be. It's like you looking at it like it's skin, like because in the game, you got the dudes, they're kind of like running around shooting and stuff, and you don't really get. I mean, you get close up, but you don't get that live action close up. And now you get to see like the dimples in their skin, and it's not human. Shout out to so Johnny Egg Matthews is new. Thank you for rolling through. Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? Jump in the chat, holler at people, y'all talk. Tay 1990. I asked you guys what's your favorite part of this episode, so let me know. We'll get into that before I get into anything that I don't like, because we try to love on stuff here. We don't come in here to hate. We don't do the hateration. Well, we do a smidge of hateration every now and then, but for the most part we here to love stuff. Malcolm Lee said, "I'm going to check it out tonight. Forgot it was coming out." Oh, we'll see. All right, here's the thing. For Jody, well, Malcolm, you know how we do. But for Jody, just so you know, this isn't particularly a recap of the episode. The way we do here, we kind of barbershop it up. Like we assume that you've seen the episode. We talk about the episode. We talk about things that have happened, but I don't give you like a step-by-step walkthrough. So, just so you know, we're kind of just chilling, hanging, talking about the episode. So if you haven't seen it, I hope, y'all don't get, I don't want y'all to get lost, yo. Oh man, so I would say the models and how visceral the action scene was. Because we get one big set piece action scene in this. And ooh, boy, them plasma rifles ain't no joke in real life. Yo, in real life, plasma rifles tear through flesh like nobody's business. Yo, all right, so they got this colony. What is the name of the colony? Let me pull it up. Let me see if I can find the name of the colony. The colony, Madrigal. So there's a planet called Madrigal. There's a little colony on there, and Covenant, send a phantom ship there or whatever. Go get this little piece that they're looking for, right? And I don't want to throw it all away for everybody who ain't seen it, but basically they're going there to get an artifact because they need said artifact, right? So when they get there, there's an incursion. It includes a character named Quan Ha, which I'll kind of get into a little bit later. But the way the action sets off at that particular colony, because of course the Covenant's there first, so the Covenant started attacking the colony, and then of course the cavalry of the UNSC. There's a beef between the USC and the colonies. We'll get into that too, which I think throws a pretty cool layer on this. But you have the colony finally, getting a little respite, I guess you could say, from the UNSC dropping some actual troops. Well, not Marine troops, sorry, Spartans. But boy, before the Spartans get there, man, yo, the people, they got guns. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they ain't got guns. It's just them guns don't matter. Like, them guns do not matter at all. Like, bruh, them elites just walk through those people, yo. They do. They just walk through. I was thinking that we were gonna see some grunts, but we didn't see any grunts on this episode or even hear any grunts. But I do like that through this battle, they were able to showcase, of course, the sound effects that were used to, the voices that we heard, like the walk, like we heard all that stuff. But just the carnage was crazy. Like the regular civilians, they was gone. Now this there's a young girl named Quan Ha that's in this that you've probably seen in the trailer. It's kind of positioned as like, I guess, I don't know, like a leader or a helpful friend or something like that. We'll see how it goes. And I'll talk to her about it in a second. But this scene is kind of how they sell the pilot. And this scene is for real. The Spartans get that work in. It's shown why they are a match for the elites. And I'd say, honestly, to a certain degree, they might be like a little bit above the elites. Like all right, if you're playing the game of Halo, you might be playing it on like normal with these elites. Like you definitely ain't on hard or like you ain't on like the hardest setting on this. You ain't doing that. But so I would have liked to see the elites be a little tougher, but maybe they're backing the elites down. So when they bring in the can't remember, like the gorilla looking dudes, like maybe when they bring them in, then they'll be the oh snap, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, these elites, like the elites weren't mowing them down, but I wanted the elites to give them a little more pressure. But like I said, in the scene, you get to hear like the shield sound go down and then boot back up. Just like all those kind of things. You do get a couple of Spartans pinned down that need some help. So that's cool, but for the most part, they seem to kind of have a handle on those elites. And I would have liked to seen a little bit more of a struggle, but of course, I know you want to show the Spartans, doing what they do. That's what we paid for. And shouts to Shango Zulu saying they did a good job with the first episode. Still waiting for what episode 2 will hold. Withheld any thoughts. Don't want to cast any judgment yet. Well, we judging up in here. No. I'll say that action sequence definitely held it down for me. The movement was a little weird sometimes with the Spartans, with like the weight. You know how when you're making like when they have 3D characters, and sometimes when they're jumping around, they seem almost weightless or they don't seem as heavy as you think they should be. Like a couple of times with that, but for the most part, man, action scene was on point. Now, of course, Quan Ha is. Let's talk about Quan Ha for a second because we'll talk about Master Chief last. Quan Ha is this new character that comes in, and of course she's going to be kind of like, I guess, our perspective, our guide through the show. I don't know if I care about her yet. It's I don't know. Yeah. Antoine Allen said, turned out better than I thought. Those super jumps look sped up, but I was bothered. Well, I guess I wasn't bothered, or I was bothered. But Quan Ha is, of course, the only survivor of the colony. They have to take her in, and I don't know if I care about her yet, but I do have a little bit of empathy because, like, she ain't got nobody left. Like, Master Chief finds out he killed her mom, and he saw her dad get straight up look, bruh, that ebony blade they got, nah, it's not an ebony blade, but the elite sword, the plasma sword. All right, so the plasma sword, my dude, that plasma sword, you know what I'm saying, cut through skin like hot butter, you know what I'm saying, like a knife through hot, look. Her man, look, Paramount Plus is letting you know we rated R up in here, son. Her dad caught a plasma sword straight through the chest, slow. Like here's the thing. At least could have just been like, boop, you're dead. No, homie held him up, ignited the plasma sword to go inside him, and then held it in there for a minute. Like, let it just marinate all up in his chesticles. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. But anyway, so her mom and her dad's gone. And, there's this beef between, I guess, free colonies and the UNSC, which at least I didn't get in the games, but admittedly, I haven't played all the games. I've played Halo 1, Halo 2, like half of ODST, a little bit of Halo 3, and the new Halo Infinite for maybe about 30 minutes. So I love the world, I love the story, but I just haven't had the time to really play all of it, and I don't know all the story, but I'll make sure to go on YouTube. I'm pretty sure somebody's put all the cutscenes of every single movie together. So, I'm pretty sure there's like a 10-hour cutscene of all the games. And, shouts out to y'all that be doing it, like Players Playground and stuff. Like y'all do the Lord's work sometimes. Or Gamers Playground. Like y'all be doing the Lord's work sometimes. For all those long games that I don't want to play. You got this beef between the colonies, and they're like, yo, we want to be free. We don't want to be down with the UNSC, right? UNSC comes to old girl after she's the only survivor. They like, look, check it. Peep this. We need you to tell all the other colonies that the covenant is real and they bad. So they need to be down with us to get our protection. You know what I'm saying? So we can expand the UNSC, I guess, Federation or Empire or whatever. And that was an interesting shot because, like, she's not, it's hella propaganda, right? But it's not particularly wrong. Like, okay, it's mad propaganda. Go out here and be like, I'm the only survivor, and you need to join now. It's very exploitative and very propaganda heavy. But they're also right. Like they like, oh, you don't like us? You wait till they come to your door. You know what I'm saying? You wait till they come. Tell them how they is. You know what I'm saying? Tell them how the covenant do. You know what I'm saying? You saw what happened. Tell them, show them what they be doing. So I kind of get that too. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the middle where I was like, yo, I don't know. And yeah, Antoine Allen said, yeah, I was like, oh, not the children. Yo, the children, they ain't show it, but man, yo, the elite opened the door and he said, got, homie Darth Vader to all them kids. Like it was not pretty at all. It was, it really drove home like how, like, yo, the elites ain't no joke. So hopefully we get some better elites because we saw the blue and the burgundy. We ain't seen the gold elites yet. So hopefully that'll be like the next, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like our Spartans get a little, like, oh, snap. Oh, they strong. So this beef between the UNSC and the colonies, I kind of like. I don't know if it was in the games or not. I don't remember too much. Like, most of the time you're kind of like speeding through and kind of just want to kill aliens. But but one thing that I did dig is that this provides us with sort of 3 or 4 enemies. You got the Covenant, you got the UNSC, and then you got the free colonies who, are kind of like all, on different sides. So I like that we get multiple perspectives instead of just good guys and bad guys. And I assume in the future we'll get like the Flood, and then we'll also get what are the other race outside of the Covenant, whatever they are. So I assume we'll have a show that ends up having like maybe 4 different or 5 different sides that are kind of all vying for position and attention and power and value or resources, which could be cool. It could be, fun TV for us. So I dig that. The girl being the daughter. All right, sorry. So there's this girl, and let me pull up her name. There's a young lady in the show, because it's is it Miranda Keys? All right, so Miranda Keys is the daughter of Jacob and another lady or whatever. But anyway, she's the one that tries to sell it. The whole thing with her and her dad and like how the military is running. Okay, so she has this scene where she's almost like, she's almost like, oh my God, we're killing people or whatever. And it's like, bruh, like, what you think this is? What you think they doing with these guns? What do you think happens when they leave and they come back and there's like blood on their shirt? What do you think went on? Like, baby girl, no. I know you part of like the PR department for the military, but what you think is happening when they go over there? What you think they doing all these push-ups for? What you think they doing it for nothing? What you think they training with sticks and rocks and knives and guns and bats? And the whole training is to be able to hurt somebody else. What you think was happening? So that little scene with her dad, I was like, shorty, miss me with that. Like, stop. She did grow up in the military, so maybe she's been drinking the Kool-Aid so long and she realized, how who was pouring the Kool-Aid or something. I don't know, but I just felt like, baby girl, like, hey, come on now. You know what these Spartans do. Right? You know what even the Marines do. The Marines did look corny. All right, peep this. Shouts out to the TV show, making sure that the Marines look just as corny on TV as they did in the game. When they had their little helmets on, I was like, man, get out the way. You ain't never gonna help me. Look, all right, so peep it. Geeky Andre comes through, says originally the Spartans were created by the UNSC to fight the independent colonies. Oh, okay, cool. But then the Covenant showed up and that war started. All right, thank you for we here. Thank you. See, that's why we come here and barbershop it up. Thank you, sir. Because pretty much, I bought Halo when it first came out with the first Xbox, and I was just like, let's kill aliens. Like I sort of saw the story, but I didn't. I was like, ooh, the flood. Like I'm sorry, I didn't super focus on everything, but so if that's the case, do you really need Spartans to fight the colonists? Like, cause they didn't look like that. They didn't look that well trained or organized. Like, I feel like your regular Marines could have handled that. But all right, cool. That's right. That's true. That. All right, so we got people off camera helping out. So I gotta give them love for making the Marines look as cheesy as they do. Cause you know how in the game, you be like, oh snap, I got the whole Warthog, you know what I'm saying? We got the whole crew, right? And you like, yo, they gonna help me. Bruh. Like, they'll never be helping. Now, of course, I usually try to play the game on like hard or hardest or whatever, try to test my skills. But I'm like, they'll never be helping. It's like, all right, you know how, okay, if you play the game, if you're on normal and then you go to like hard or like normal, medium, hard, hardest or whatever, you know how the bad guys get stronger? Like the Marines the Marines be on easy. Like, okay. So I did like that because I was like, when they was like grabbing guns, I was like, what you gonna do? Sit down. So he can come in here and smack you up. So Antoine Allen said, I'm not too sure about this artifact taking John, Master Chief, taking his focus. I guess he is the best of the best. So yeah, we'll talk about that artifact in a second because I think we'll learn more about that. I mean, we'll learn more about his vision soon. Because I don't think we get that in the game, but maybe we do, and I was just tripping. So we do get to see the UNSC side of the things, and we get to meet our like chief science or mad science officer. What is it? Not the admiral. Dad, what is her name? I can't find her name, so I don't know. Can I help you? Can I assist you? Can I assist you? Like, can I assist you? Anyway, so anyway, the science officer comes through. All right, science officer comes through, and she's like, "Yo, look, we need that little relic you got. We need that little relic you got, and I want it now. Like, not only do I want it now, I want it super now. So bring it back to me. But old boy touch it, see them visions. So we now find out that most likely these Spartans, then, they're not just super soldiers. Like, it's not like, all right, I was a Marine and like I was a Marine and I signed up for the super soldier program. No, it seemed like they was just kidnapping kids, all right? So if that's the deal, like, come on, man. Like, you know you about to go down. So, of course, opening his eyes between the visions and between the conversation with Kwan Ha, realizing that, like, maybe everything isn't straight down the middle. It helps change his mind to decide, hey, well, that also with the fact that they attacked him, you know what I'm saying? They removed the oxygen from the ship and his suit. So they literally made a directed attack against him. I don't see him coming back to the UNSC anytime soon. I feel like they blew that. Now, Geeky Andre said, I liked how on Reach, when the Spartans were walking down the hallway, all the other soldiers stood aside. They do look so cool, and they know they raw. Yeah, they look. They know what's up. They're like, oh, real soldiers is here. It was like, here come the real soldiers. So they were like, yo, we got to roll. We got real soldiers. So I like that. I enjoyed those pieces. Even the part of the ship when they had to kind of change their activity from, okay, I'm forced to kill this girl, to I want to know more about her. I want to learn more. I want to, maybe I don't want to kill her because I've already killed her mom and watched her dad die. I'm digging that. I'm not against that. Here's the thing. On the poorer side of things, of how I feel about this show, I just don't want to follow around a kid or I don't want to follow around a youth or anything about this. I kind of just want to follow the Spartan, aka Master Chief, aka Mad Sweeney. Let me know. Do y'all? Many times when they do shows like this, they always saddle the character with like someone else that like we're like, I don't want this. I want Halo. I don't want Halo with, with the youth. I don't want, because now we got someone who like has to be protected. They're going to be in the way. They're going to be like, I want to see Master Chief kind of go on his journey and like not be saddled with like, I don't want to say dead weight because she's alive, but I mean, we're going to be in all kinds of predicaments specifically because of her. And I just, like, if she was like dope and could fight and could protect herself and like maybe do cool things, I'd be cool. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. It's once again, we're kind of with this lone wolf and cub thing, and I don't want them to play it out. I know they probably saw, the show Mandalorian was like, oh yeah, we can do it like that. But I'm like, no, she's not a cub. She's like, the girl like 17 or something. I don't know how old she is. I don't know. She got a mullet. She's old enough to have a mullet, all right? And that's old enough for me to say you are not a cub no more. Antoine Allen said the lone wolf and cub, I hope she don't whine the whole time. And Geeky Andre said, I'm glad you said Mad Sweeney. He was good in American Gods and Den of Thieves. Oh, see, I never peeped Den of Thieves, so I might have to check that out. That's the only thing. I hope she's not corny. She's okay for now, but it's Halo. Like I want to see Halo. I want to see maybe Master Chief have his beef with UNSC, and maybe kind of at odds with his other Spartans, but not real beef kind of thing. But they're like, yo, we siding over here, but we ain't, it's still respect, but we got to bring you in kind of thing. And maybe him going on his journey with the cartographer or whatever. Something like that. But now when we adding the kid, I don't want to add the kid. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm whining, but she gonna be whining. Hopefully not. So that's the only thing that really kind of got me about this. As long as she's cool, I'll be cool. But usually these kind of characters that have to like be like these tag-alongs that are supposed to be like sort of our, look into the. We don't need our look into. We just want to watch the show. We don't need her to be there. Or if she's there, don't make her a character that he has to kind of like drag along. Make her very capable so she knows what she's doing, so he don't need to drag her nowhere. Because I feel like this is going to be one of them characters where it's like, oh, she got in trouble, so now I got to save her. Like, no, I don't want to save you, all right? I didn't save your daddy. No, that's foul. That's foul. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully she, like, of course, with shows like this, usually these characters don't, but hopefully she does what he says. She listens to him. When he says stay in the car, she stays in the car. When he, like those kind of things. So slap that off. That's one bad thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And there's only one more thing that rubbed me the wrong way about this show. This might be a small thing, but he took his helmet off, and it's only episode 1. And his helmet stayed off for a long time. Look, I don't know what kind of contractual obligation you made. I get it, Pablo. I get it. You want your face to be seen. Bottom line is that's not the character. That's not the character. Have we ever seen Master Chief's face? Because I haven't played all the games, so maybe y'all have we seen it? Now Zia's Be Loose, shouts out to the chat, comes through, and Zia's blessing us with mad comments. So let me see if I can get to a couple of these. Zia says, Master Chief taking his helmet off in the games, but you never see his face. Thank you. When he does so in the first 3 games made by Bungie, when 343 took over and made Halo 4, you see his full face as a child in the opening cutscene, and one other time at the epilogue of the game, only if you played on the hardest difficulty. Even then, you only see his eyes. Otherwise, in the books, Chief's appearance isn't made out to be that big of a deal, and he takes it off as much as any other Spartan 2 does. I think the only other times you see his face are in a handful of commercials, 3's Starry Night and 4's Scan trailer, and one animated movie of the first novel, Fall of Reach. Chief's humanity really isn't focused on at all in the first 3 games. Not to say that he doesn't have any, because only body language he says, I guess through body language he says a lot more than he lets on otherwise. So then he continues, says Halo 4 is where they really ramped it up and made him human and recognized the part of him through his AI partner Cortana. With the way the show sounds, it makes it seem like Quan is taking Cortana's role, and she'll have a different one, which I think I'm a huge fan of. Regardless, I want to watch the show first before I make any judgments, because I might actually end up liking it. My one big hope right now is that Cortana has more screen time than the trailers are letting on, because she's my favorite character in the series. Haha, 3 movie files. So okay, I will say this. Live action is not the same as a video game. In a video game, you're playing this character. So you don't really need to see his face, because you are his face. You are the chief. So you know what I'm saying? You're playing as the chief, so you don't need to see him, because you. So I guess showing his face, it just seems like one of those things where, I don't know. But I mean, he's not a Mandalorian. So, you know what I'm saying? Dude need to take his mask off every now and then. I mean, his helmet off every now and then. So I guess so. It just feels weird, because they work so hard to not show his face in the game. But as an adaptation, maybe it doesn't work so much in live action. I know. Mhm. I
gotta finish my food after I get the donut.
All right, cool. I got you. Now, so with that said, this all right. So you can't you see how people you can I have do you see this? Do you see what I gotta deal with? You see this is see you don't want to take him on a trip. You know what I mean? So this is see what I'm dealing with right now. So shouts to Jenna James. All right, Jenna James comes through and says, Technopirate 3 days ago. I really want them to have the Master Chief and his teammates talk about their recruitment into the Spartan 2 program. These folks are super soldiers and the tip of the spear. So I like the show. I dig it. I hope Quan Ha is not corny. And I'd like him to keep his helmet on a little bit more. Because I was like, he took the helmet off already? What is going on? But at the same time, I mean, all right, let's think about it. When we play the game, most of the time, he's in action, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, as a human being or a Spartan, I mean, I guess you got to take the helmet off, get a breath or something. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping over the helmet. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know if I'm tripping on the helmet. If I'm tripping on the helmet, just put a 1 in the chat. Just be like 1, and you know what I'm saying? Put that in the chat now. No. Shouts to Jenna James said that you've been busy with school. Hey, look, getting them grades. All right. You know what I'm saying? And then you can kick the truth to the young black youth. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe I'm too hard on. Yeah, okay, Zias. All right. So maybe I'm too hard on the whole helmet rule. You know, I'll let that slide. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm tripping on that. So really, I only got one thing that's kind of holding me back. There's only you know what I'm saying? I only have one thing, hoping that Quan Ha isn't corny. They left the blood on her face for like ever. Like, I ain't going front. The blood was on her face for a mad time. Like, mad long time. I was like, is she gonna wipe that blood? But I guess they had to let you know it was like really real. But acting wise, no one really stood out as like horrible. So I'm down with that. Everybody seemed to be kind of sold. The dude that's the military girl's father, I can't remember his name, but I dig him. He's dope. So I'm glad to see him. I'm glad to see the ship renders. The action looks great. The what is it? The religious ones. Not the elites, but the religious, the floating guys, and I can't remember their names. Y'all let me know in the chat. The floating guys, they look awesome. And the girl that they're using to like gain, you know, insight into humans and stuff, I really want to see where that goes. So, all in all, I'm down with this show. I think I'm down with it. And you know what? I ain't tripping on the helmet no more. You know what I'm saying? Zia said, hey, you're tripping, so I ain't tripping. I'm gonna let it go. You know what I'm saying? Zia says, as a longtime Halo fan that knows everything about Halo, I can tell you several reasons why the story doesn't make sense, regardless if it's a non-canon timeline. It's going to be like the Doom movie all over again. One statement in general: find the Halo, win the war. And then Geeky Andre says, I hope the ship-to-ship and vehicle-to-vehicle battles are just as fire as the ground battle we saw. Yeah, that should be cool. So yeah, now here's okay. So Zias, on your point, because you say expectations. What is it? Says I love your review, and I say it's pretty spot on. There were moments I got a bit emotional watching this. Totally unexpected responses. I actually went into this first episode with very low expectations and wouldn't even consider myself a diehard Halo fan, but the way they presented the story, setting, tone, direction was all done incredibly well. And I'm not going to lie, that moment when we see a certain someone make their first on-screen appearance gave me chills. and harken back to the love and childhood nostalgia I had from playing the first entries in the Halo series. I agree. I think this is well done. Paramount's taking a big swing with this, but just like Star Trek Discovery when it first came on, one thing that I said was, I was like, oh, Paramount got money, CBS got money. So this shows that they got a little cheese to throw around. And I like Pablo as an actor. I like everyone, the surrounding cast. I'm digging this. Nobody seems to be phoning it in right now. And the effects, by and large, are good. The only problem I had with the effects was when some of the Spartans were moving, it was like a little too, it almost seemed like they were a little too weightless. But by and large, I'm here for it. I think I'm here for it. I think I'm gonna stick with it. We're gonna see how this season play out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how this plays out. So with that said, you know what I'm saying? With that said, what do you guys want to see your boy Master Chief go through? What do you want to see him accomplish this season? Because this season, I want to see him. Okay, final thought. I want to see him not only realize that the UNSC are not particularly his friends, but also realize that there's a greater, of course, work at play with, of course, Halo, you know what I'm saying, the rings. I think if we get that far, yeah, I think we'll be good as a show. If we get to the end of the series, and I don't know how many episodes we're supposed to have. Let's see. Do they say? I know they got renewed for season 2, which is a good thing. Which shows that they at least have, some trust and belief in the series. Let's see, because they don't say how many episodes. Okay, cool. 9 episodes. So cool. So, I think by the end of this season, by the end of 9 episodes, if he realizes that, the UNSC is definitely not for him no more, and he's all on his own, and he's actually shown to be all on his own. I mean, except with Kwan Ha. Unless she kind of like goes to Madrigal and just stays there. That he's all on his own, he has no help, and that he finally starts taking these breadcrumbs on to finding out what Halo is. I think that would be cool. If we get that, I'd be very, very happy with this season as a whole. I think if we get that, I'd be happy. I think that's enough movement for, at least enough forward movement for 9 episodes. Because of course, we're probably going to need some time for him to be like, kind of, stop drinking the UNSC Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? And also kind of come to the realization that, they ain't his friends, they ain't never going to be his friends. I don't care about your little friends. So with that said, it's that, yo, not after seeing these Spartans, Disney better give us an accurate live action Bad Batch. Yo, you know what? They might be looking at that right now. They might be like, I wonder if we can do this. Like maybe even just for a short film. And shout out to Open Mind. Yo, Open Mind, look, if you digging the show, holla at me. We, you know what I'm saying? We can talk Halo from week to week. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep. But Open Mind says, honestly, going by the first episode, they at least got the character abilities right as well as the alien weapons. Yeah, because man, them plasma rifles ain't good for your health, B. That plasma rifle ripped through that man's leg like it was nothing. Woo! Leg was just gone. Just poof, just out of here. Just alakazam, gone. So, with that said, shouts out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I love the episode. Open Mind, ZSB Lou, Geeky Andre, Jenna James back. Malcolm Lee, Shango Zulu, Jody Eric Matthews that came through brand new. You know what I'm saying? Love to see you. You know what I'm saying? Great to see your sunshiny face. Who else did I miss? Let's see. I don't know. All these names are little, so I can't. Hopefully, I did not miss your name. If I missed your name, it's not on purpose. I try to shout all y'all out because all y'all cool with me. You know what I'm saying? We out here, we chilling, having a good time, talking about some Halo. So, and Open Mind says Mad Sweeney is definitely a good pick to play the Chief. Yeah, shouts to Mad Sweeney, man. Even though I did not mess with American Gods as they did my boy Orlando Jones wrong, but you know what I'm saying? Mad Sweeney was still dope. You know what I'm saying? Mad Sweeney, he got mad love for me. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to him. So, to everybody in the chat, to everybody on the replay, you know what I'm saying? NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. Hit that like button. It helps. Share it to your friends. It helps. If you know some people that's playing Halo, you know what I'm saying? Share it to them. Be like, yo, man, you watching the show? You know what I'm saying? I watched this earlier today. You need to check this out. So, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Feel free. Cash App is open. You know what I'm saying? Patreon is open. Speaking of Patreon, I have some gifts for Garris George today that I should be getting up with and getting him some gifts because he's actually in LA. So he has some gifts from the Patreon because he answered one of the Blurred Domination questions. So Garris George, if you're watching this, shout out to you because I'll see you later. And so feel free, you know what I'm saying, cash tag NERDSOUL, you know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got a penny in your pocket, you can share. And that's how you can help out. So we're going to leave y'all with some Black Comics, some Algo C, some Elixir, some Ali Thieves, some SP the Soul Prophet, a whole bunch of dope beats. And from us to you, thank you for watching. And until next time, yo, keep your head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying? Keep that shield high. And keep your eye on the scope of that battle rifle, because you just never know. Peace. And we out.
should let someone who can, like me.